Grounds crew is still working on the field. The rain has subsided. It's still drizzling, but it's certainly not coming down as hard as it was in the last inning or so. Well, Hader will look for the save and look to clinch a spot in the LCS. Adam Amin, AJ Pierzynski, Tom Verducci is down to the field. Tom, give me a sense. We were discussing a little bit of this in the last inning perspective on this series.
Yeah, well, the Dodgers will get their stars to the plate here in the ninth, but it takes more than stars, and I think you saw that in the seventh inning. To me, Trent Grisham really turned this series. The Dodgers needed somebody to neutralize Grisham, who's turned out to be a force in the postseason. It really didn't have confidence in Vesia because of the work he's put in the postseason. The choice was Canely with the changeup against the lefty. Canely just has not pitched a lot this year, and that really set that entire inning in motion. Give credit to Trent Grisham, who has become a force.
What a series he's had.
Well said, Tom. You were right. We were talking about Canely and his changeup. Well, he walked Profar. Then Grisham gets the hit. Then Austin Nola gets kind of that infield ground ball that finds a hole. Next thing you know, they're behind the 8 ball. They got to start bringing guys in. They bring in Almonte. They have to go to Vesia. Finally, he gives up the go-ahead hit.
They suddenly found themselves down 5-3 with 3 outs to go. Machado, Kim, Cronenworth, and Myers. You can see the slickness on the infield as they play behind Hader. Here's Mookie Betts. In there for strike 1.
Well, if you're the Padres, this is the guy you went out and got, Josh Hader. If you're the Dodgers, your season on the line. You've got the top 3. You're the best top 3 in all of Major League Baseball. Two former MVPs, and Trey Turner's been an all-star. These are the guys you want up there for the Dodgers.
0-1. Betts swings and misses. Nothing in 2 the count. Betts flew out. Turner struck out. Freeman doubled, and then Smith flew out to end game 2. That's the last time they saw Hader. Oh-2 pitch. Check swing. He went around, 1 away. Here's Turner. On that bad right ring finger, he still has muscled out 2 hits and a run in 4 trips. The corners play a little in against Turner, who's bunted himself aboard already tonight. One and one. Fouled away, 1-2 on Trey Turner.
That's what Josh Hader does to guys. He rushes them with that fastball, 95 plus. We got Betts on the slider because he's thinking about the fastball the whole time. It is a tough at bat for everyone with Josh Hader is right, because his fastball has carry that nobody else's really has.
Hader to Freeman. Strike one. Nothing at two. One strike away. Hader to Freeman. He struck him out! For the first time in 24 years, the San Diego Padres are headed to the National League Championship Series. What a moment for Bob Melvin. What a moment for the Padres. What a moment for the city of San Diego. They were down in the series. They were down in Game 4. They'll remember the 7th inning forever. And they'll remember the final out. I don't know what kind of magic it was, if it had anything to do with a white-fronted goose here in San Diego, but whatever it was in the air, along with this rain, he has sent 45,139 people here at Petco Park into a glass case of emotion. Tom Verducci is down on the field with San Diego's own Joe Musgrove.
Joe Musgrove, it's official now. The dragon up the freeway has been slain. Tell me what this moment feels like.
Yeah, I'm not going to miss that drive, man. I mean, these guys dominated us all year long, but you know, we got out at the right time. And I mean, you see the unity in this group, this fan base, man. I mean, we wanted to give it to these people so bad. We wanted it for Bob. We wanted it for ourselves, man. It's a good feeling.
Of course, you grew up in this town. This is your hometown. You were a Padres fan growing up. 1998 was the last time the Padres went to the NLCS. You were 6 years old. Can you put into words, and you hear this crowd right now, what this means for the city of San Diego?
No, it's about to be a party out here tonight. I mean, yeah, man, since I was a little kid, we've been getting beat up by the Dodgers, but, you know, when it comes down to it and the games matter, this team stepped up, man, from top to bottom. The bottom of our lineup, I don't think we've gotten that kind of production from them all year long. And it just goes to show the type of guys in there, the dogs that we got, man. I mean, when the moment's big, these guys turn it on, and, you know, we battle through at bats, go down early 3-0 to this team with a really good bullpen who shoved it up our butts all series. You know, so yeah, just sticking to the plans, you know, trust in and get behind this crowd.
You hear this place. What can we expect in the National League Championship Series with a spot in the World Series on the line?
Yeah, it's only going to get better, man. I mean, these guys are so thirsty for for a championship in this town and for playoff baseball. You know, I'm seeing guys in tears already out there, so it's a really good feeling, man. It's only going to get better.
Congratulations. Enjoy it, Joe.
Thank you. I will.
Back to you.
An incredible scene. The largest crowd in Petco Park history watches one of the great comebacks and upsets in Major League Baseball history in the playoffs as the Padres finally slay the Dodger Dragon. For A.J. Pierzynski, Tom Verducci, the wonderful women and men of our crew, Adam Amig, a privilege to be here as always. Matt Vasgersian and company in studio. Matty, it's all yours.
Adam, great job, on point with all that. Yes, the biggest upset so far this postseason. The San Diego Padres have a date with the Philadelphia Phillies, just like we all knew it was going to go, right? In the National League. Welcome inside, back with Frank Thomas, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, Matt Vasgersian in for Kevin Burkhardt. We just watched something pretty special, a big rally, the 5-run 7th inning by the Padres. It looked like it was all going according to plan for the Dodgers to get this back to Chavez Ravine. Pods are up for 5 in the 7th, and at that point, their bullpen locked it down.
Yeah, we always talk about this, Matty, and I feel like a broken record because we sit here every October, and at some point it has to stop. Pulling of your starter early. You see it with Tyler Anderson, who was breezing. All year long, great picture here. All year long, they've trusted him to get into the 7th inning. Today, they pull him after 5, 86 pitches. The rest is history.
Happy team photo. NLCS bound are the San Diego Padres. They will host. They open at Petco Park on Tuesday night, games 1, 2, and then if needed, 6 and 7 in San Diego. The weekend will be spent in Philadelphia. And, David, we were visiting about this a moment ago. There's some similarities here with the Pods and Phillies coming up.
Definitely. It seems like it's a pretty even fight in between the two teams. I mean, they have a few starters, really good, both teams. The bullpen is pretty similar. You have the middle of the order, offensively pretty much the same. You have the guys at the top of the lineup that like to get on base, and then the guys at the bottom of the lineup that like to manufacture runs. So I think it's going to be a pretty even series coming up.
I just want to give San Diego their credit that is due. I mean, they just beat a team that no one thought could be beat in these playoffs in the National League. The San Diego Padres, they came out and handled their business. It's about timing. They got hot at the right time, just like Joe Musgrove said. Baseball is about timing. We saw the Padres. We saw the Padres beat the Dodgers. We saw the Phillies take out Atlanta Braves, two of the teams that we thought would be there. This is baseball in October. The wild card matters.
I think it's our fault that the Padres bounced back and beat the Dodgers.
I think it's your fault.
We were trying to get a new name for them, and then they went back and earned their name, the Padres.
You know, you're onto something there, Frank, with timing, because we see the Braves go away today. We see the Dodgers go away today. The chalk, the heavy favorites to go to the World Series in the National League. Those were the two teams in the NL that had the bye. In the American League, the Yankees are going to be fighting for their playoff lives. They had a bye. The Astros went ahead and swept Seattle after a marathon today, but the teams that had the rest, it didn't go well for them this fall.
5 days is a long time. I was a part of that in 2006 with the Oakland A's. We swept the first round. We sat around for 5 days with young guys hanging out, digging themselves, lost that rhythm. And the next thing you know, we got swept by Detroit. Just like that, 2 at home, 2 in Detroit, season's over. And I don't care how hot you are, if you don't have your rhythm in baseball, anything can happen.
I mean, to tell you, if you are a baseball fan and you fell asleep for the past 5 or 6 years and you woke up to these pictures and you're seeing Padres fans celebrating a division series win in the rain, you might have thought this was a badly scripted sitcom someplace. I mean, it's almost too surreal to put into words. General Manager A.J. Preller with Manny Machado. I mean, they're tight, and this is exactly the reason why they spent the money on Manny to begin with. It's all happening here for the Padres, Alex.
I mean, he's been the total package all the way around. And look, it's interesting. The Braves win a world championship without their best player, Ronald Acuna, and here are the San Diego Padres without their best player in Tatis, or at least their most marketable player. And Machado's just been a rock. Soto, better late than never. He's showing up in a big way. His last 5 at-bats, hard contacts. The Padres are in a really good place. And one more thing, I mean, if you think about this fan base, and if you're sitting in that clubhouse and you saw the pictures, fellas, we've all felt this way. We've all gotten beat up by our big brothers, right? And this is David and Goliath. And how good does that team feel, that fan base, to overcome the biggest challenge of the big bad boy Dodgers? They've done it in a beautiful way.
Let's not forget that the Padres have been making deals the past 4 years to get to this point. Mm-hmm. And this is amazing for baseball, to get to see the underdog beat up the big dog. You know, I mean, when you walk into spring training and you see everybody, a team put together and this and that, right away you start making up your mind and you start thinking about who's gonna be at the top by this time. And the unexpected happen. And when the unexpected happen, fans agree on supporting this sport more and more and more. You know why? Because now you're seeing the small market team coming out big.
You know, to your point, David, they sold out to get to this moment. They emptied out every prospect in the organization in the deals they made this summer. They spent money like this franchise has never before spent on players like Machado, Eric Hosmer before him, even Will Myers. I mean, they spent money.
Soto,
Darvish, like, this is not your father's Padres. Sorry about the pun there. but I mean, this team is built to win a World Series this year.
Without a doubt. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing to get to see things like this happening, because, like, you expect the Dodgers to be at this stage every year, winning and winning and winning and winning, and then all of a sudden, you see, like I said before, the underdog beating up the big dog. That's big and huge for baseball fans.
They earned it tonight. The L.A. Dodgers went out 3-0 in the 7th inning, got to their bullpen, and the San Diego Padres had some big at-bats. Kim started with that double down the line, you know, and it was finished up by Soto, big hit, and then Cronenworth with a 2-strike single up the middle, 2-run single that I did not see coming. You guys didn't see coming. The Dodgers bullpen imploded. We talked about it early to start the season. The series, that it was a little risky, not having defined roles, and it kind of burned them there at the end. So, but you got to give San Diego Padres credit, and Bob Melvin, give him a lot of credit, because he manifested this from day one. He said, "This is not the regular season. This is a short series. We got to play heads up," and that's what happened. They beat them 4-1, and no one saw this coming. I mean, 3-1, nobody saw this coming.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, fellas? We talk about this all the time, macro versus micro. The macro, 162 games, 1,000 games, these, R&D departments create these models. But at the end of the day, we knew the warts with the Yankees. We knew the warts with the Dodgers. The Yankees did not get Castillo. They won 2 to Cleveland, about maybe to get eliminated. And the Dodgers, whether you win 110 or 130, you have to have the formula of great pitching that can get into the 7th or 8th inning. And we talked about it. It's hard to win a championship with 5 and out every night.
I have to say that the Dodgers, with their regular season record, they got too comfortable. They know that they need some key players to be able to survive through the playoff. And it seems like they never make that move. So that's what paid off right here by this time.
And you can't blame Dave Roberts. I mean, at the end of the day, not sure how much he can do. He did the best he could with the roster he has. He was stretched very thin. And again, this is not who's better over the next 6 months. This is who's better for the next few weeks.
Yep.
And the Padres beat them at every single category.
Oh, look at Manny. He's going all pit bull on us here. He's going all
Mr. 305.
Oh, yeah. They have not popped the first cork yet. I think Bob Melvin's making his speech. And where we go. It's on in the home clubhouse.
They're going to feel cold.
Yeah.
They've earned it because no one saw this coming.
Anybody else struck by the irony that the owner of the Padres, Peter Seidler, is the grandson of Dodgers legend Walter O'Malley? I mean,
Pretty awesome.
it's just you can't write it, right? And things changed in San Diego when Peter Seidler made that commitment to winning. He gave A.J. Preller essentially a blank checkbook. Go out, write the checks. We're going to bring back the mustard and brown. We're going to conjure up the spirit of the late, great Tony Gwynn. And you saw all the colors in the ballpark. Like, San Diego is now officially as baseball crazy as it was in 1998.
Well, like I said before, I'm not really shocked at this point because baseball is timing. Their bullpen is just as strong as any bullpen in baseball right now. They're healthy on all cylinders. Their players are just as good as any players in the league, and they're clicking at the right time. And I think Soto was the key. He really didn't play well on the stretch. Over the last few days, he's come back. He's getting big hits. You know, this is going to last now for the rest of these series. You just never know what a San Diego Padres team could lead, because if they get leads in ball games, that bullpen is lock solid.
Good players always are able to come through when it's needed. In the last at bat that I saw Soto performing, getting the last hit to right field, I saw a different Soto. I saw the Soto with the swag. I saw the Soto with the attitude. I saw the Soto with the representing. This is why I got here for, to help you guys to win. I saw that body language, that attitude that I saw a couple of years ago when he won the World Series with the National. So, guys, this might be the beginning of something.
And you're right, Poppy, and we did that little display where we thought he was a little bit too passive, taking 1-0, taking 3-1. Well, he went the next day and saw 7 or 8 pitches the entire day. He became a predator again tonight, got a 2-0 fastball, ripped it again for an RBI single. And he texted me, and I'll tell you what, these guys are ready. And when you bring in Soto, Poppy, yeah, you want him to do good in July and August, September, but this is why he gets the big money, and he's showing up again, and he has World Series experience from 2019 with the Nationals.
Another thing that I want to point at is this moment, the San Diego Padres, they got prepared for this moment. Why? When I saw that they signed Machado, $300 million, a couple of years ago, I was like, wow. Somebody's getting prepared to win a World Series, to be on that move, on that way, on that direction. And then they sign Tatis, and then they continue signing. You know, it's just the little sign that you can see that they are approaching winning World Series, getting into the point where they are right now.
Well, you know, they got two. I mean, A.J. Preller is probably the most aggressive GM in baseball. The moves he's made over the last 3 years have been nuts. You know, him and Alex Anthopoulos with Atlanta, they've been going forward. Alex won the World Series last year. Now the San Diego Padres in a situation that, I mean, timing is everything. Who knows where this might lead to? But this is going to be one hell of a series with them and the Phillies over the next few days.
I almost feel like this should be on pay-per-view now with Manny with his shirt off and whatever's going on there.
What is up with this dance right here?
They've earned it. They have earned this moment.
Hey, fellas, you know, we talk often about the Dodgers dominating the Padres, but when you unpack that, they haven't dominated Soto, right? They haven't dominated Joe Musgrove. They haven't dominated, Matty, all the people you said have come in. This is new blood. They don't care about the history. Poppy, when you guys beat us, you guys did not care about Babe Ruth and the history. You had new guys in there that said, it's a new day, it's a new era. They're crazy enough. These guys have a little personality like 2004 Red Sox, where they feel like they can beat anyone. And after you beat the Dodgers, after you punch Goliath and beat Goliath, they're a very dangerous team. That's why I'm fascinated to see Philly against the Padres.
You had a great point once, and I'm sorry that I had to repeat this, but when we went through you guys, we feel like we were unbeatable. We feel like we play in the World Series already after we beat you guys. And I got to tell you, this might be the mojo that they got going as of right now. They be one of the best teams in baseball, the Dodgers.
Back to back.
Back to back.
They shocked the world.
Yeah, shocked the world back to back. They went to New York and beat the Mets.
Hey, man, put your shirt on, man.
100-win team, and now they took out a 111-win LA Dodgers.
Hey, how about for the San Diego fans, right? I know it's been a while, but the Clippers left San Diego to go to LA. The Chargers left San Diego to go to LA. It is the only show in town. It is Broadway, and they showed up in a huge way to the national audience.
They're owning it, you bet. And, you know, the similarities between the 98 team, the last Padres team to go to an LCS, and this year's team. In 98, they're trying to get a new ballpark built, and they pushed in, and they went out and got guys like Kevin Brown, and they went out and got Greg Vaughn was a star on that team, Caminiti, and then you had the existing core. You had Gwynn, Hoffman. It was a star-studded team.
Yes.
There's no ballpark push this year,
no.
But the commitment to winning is the same because they went out and brought in some big-time players to supplement the homegrown kids that were there. Not unlike the Phillies, to your previous point, Poppy, these two teams have a lot of similarities.
They do. They absolutely do. It's going to be a fun city to watch. And the most important thing, one beat up the worst champ, which is the Atlanta Braves, and the other one beat up the team with the best record in baseball. So it's going to be very interesting to watch what this guy going to do during this series. Meanwhile, we got to see my boy Manny. He have at least like 19 beers already. I think, I think he's up to 21 right now. That's how we do it in Miami, people. Look at that, 22.
He turned up his game.
Would have hit their lips.
You know, and you got to think about losing Tatis was a big blow to this team, but Manny brought this team together. You know, he said, put it on my back. I'm the leader now. He's had one of his best seasons without his co-partner there to lead the way with him. So Manny deserves this moment. He's been big, like he texted you the other night. Now what? They're not our daddy. We beat them.
Oh,
so
boy.
now,
I love it.
Here we go. They win 3 straight ball games. No one saw this coming. San Diego Padres, Philadelphia Phillies. It's going to be one heck of a series. 2 wild card winning teams that are on fire.
Hey, fellas, also, like, this team has had a lot of ups and downs. It's gone through some adversity. The highs of getting Soto, the lows of the Tatis suspension, that could have broke them, but it made them stronger. They came together. And also, this is great for Major League Baseball. In the world that we hear whispers about tanking and people wanting to build their farm system and position themselves for the draft, you got to command. I mean, here's the 28th franchise market in Major League Baseball, San Diego. Cleveland is the 21st market, and they're both competing at this high level. But you got to admire organizations. You talked about Dave Dombrowski earlier, Poppy. You got to admire when organizations put their chips in the middle of the table. And at some point, the prospects are nice, but you have to try to win every once in a while. That's what we're in the business of, winning.
And that's what they're doing. I mean, if you look at this whole ball club right here, you have young, talented players, more likely secure for the next 8-10 years. And when a franchise does that, it means that they are looking toward the moment right now, but also the future.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the San Diego Padres, they have been building and putting themselves in a situation because of, if you look at all the contracts and all the players that they have signed lately, it's a huge sign of what they are looking forward to do as of right now.
And for you, take notes. You're an owner now. The team that's aggressive, ownership team that put the money out there to go get this done for the city, they're winning. We talked about the Atlanta Braves. We talked about A.J. Preller.
Phillies.
The Phillies. We're all been saying, hey, these guys are crazy at the deadline. They're doing unbelievable things. But they're trying to win, and they're pushing the money in the table, saying it doesn't matter. We're trying to win a championship. This is great for baseball, just like you mentioned a second ago. I'm happy to see it because now you got players that have bought in. You're moving superstars left and right, but it's all to win a championship. The hardest thing to do in baseball is to win a championship. And you know repeating is so hard to do. But this team has a foundation now. They got 3 young superstars that's going to be crazy going forward.
Absolutely. And again, going to the theme of contact is king, the Houston Astros Cleveland Guardians 1-2 in contact, right? Making the most contact. Today, Cleveland, no home runs, they win. Today, Padres, no home runs, they win. And then, of course, the Phillies, they win Jimmy Jack. But there's a combination, Matty, that I think is important, a diversified approach. San Diego and all these teams are doing it really well.
You know, as we watch these celebration pictures from the Padres clubhouse, I recognize one of the revelers down there who now works on the Padres broadcast team, and that's Tony Gwynn Jr., the late, great Tony Gwynn and his son who played for the Padres. I'm thinking about the breadth of the franchise history, 54 years of Padres baseball. They're going to an LCS for just the third time ever. They've been to 2 World Series. They weren't really in either one of them. Swept by the Yankees in '98, beaten up by the Tigers in '84. This team has a chance to perhaps end the month as the best ever. And somehow we have managed to wrangle a shirtless, reveling Manny Machado, the Padres' unquestioned leader. We understand that we got, hey, Manny!
Mr. 305 in la casa.
Yes!
305 to the 619, baby. Let's go. Let's go, San Diego. Live that shit up, San Diego. Let's fucking go. Woo! It's our fucking house.
Hey.
It's our house right here, baby. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. Hey, Manny, you boy Big Papi right here, man. Tell me about the feeling that is going through your body right now after you guys beat up the Dodgers.
I mean, Papi, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, we come out here, you know, they tortured us all year. Oh, come on, man, I'm trying to talk to Big Papi here. Hey, so, you know, they beat us all year, and we every single time we went out there and competed. You know, obviously they got a really good team on the other side. They got a good pitcher staff, good bullpen, freaking hell of a lineup, and you know, we're out there to go out and just compete every single time. So now when you get into the dance, you know best. It's just about going out there and giving you your all for 27 outs every single night. And, you know, with this group that we have here, every single day we come out here, we compete, we work our butts off, and, you know, we're able to pull one off.
I tell my boys right here, sometimes I like to poke the bear. Did I poke you the other day when I say the Padres?
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's the daddy now, baby? They've been slaying us all year, but, you know, here we are.
That's what we're talking about.
Going to the championship series.
Hey, Manny, what's up, my man? Alex Rodriguez here. Congrats. Couldn't be happier for you. You know, I was telling the boys here that you came to my house when you were 15 or 16 with your mom, and from that day on, I knew that you're going to be a huge star, but I got to tell you, couldn't be more proud. How emotional for you. You were the leader. When things broke down this year earlier with Tatis, you kept it together. How happy, how proud are you? And where does this stand in your career so far? Is it the height?
Another 305 right here, baby. 305 in the house. I mean, it's just, you know, we've dealt with a lot. You know, it's been a roller coaster for this team. You know, with Bob being the leader of this team, being the captain and steering us in the right direction and keeping us in that right line, you know, we're able to go out there and compete every single day. At the end of the day, it's about playing baseball, going out there having fun every single time. And, you know, he told me, hey, here you go out there, do your thing, and, you know, carry these boys. And, you know, I was able to be lucky enough to play with these guys, you know, play with Darvish, play with Snell, Joe, has had an unbelievable season, Cronenworth. I mean, we've all picked up the slack as an entire group, and, you know, it showed tonight that no matter what, we're going to go out there and compete till the last out is made, and, you know, we'd be one of the best teams in baseball.
Manny, Frank Thomas here. You know, I've followed your whole career. You've been great your entire career. But this, we were just talking earlier, this is your best season because you've matured to be the captain of the team. You said when Tatis went down, nobody wanted to see that happen. You said, I can be the captain here, I can lead this team, and you had one of your best seasons without all that protection. And I just want to say, it's really not a question, is one hell of a season is not done yet. What's next for you in the San Diego Ball Club?
Trying to bring a championship to the city of San Diego. That's all that matters. That's been our goal the whole entire time. We're one step closer, going to championship, playing another really good ball club in Philadelphia. And, you know, one step closer to bringing that championship to San Diego, baby.
Congratulations, man.
Manny, we asked this of the Phillies after they celebrated today. At what point do you start thinking about your next opponent? You know who your next opponent is. You're going to host the beginning of this series on Tuesday. At what point do you start thinking about the Phillies?
About to go celebrate right now. Go to my house, bring the boys over, have a good time, soak this all in. It's been a long time. The city's waited a long time for this. So we're going to soak this in tonight. And then, tomorrow, however we wake up, we're going to come back to business and get ready for the next series.
Hey, Manny, Papi again right here. Congratulations once again, brother. And go and show your teammate how we do it down in 305, homie.
How we do it, baby. Thank you, Manny. Appreciate it. See you. Thanks, guys.
Manny Machado reveling as you'd expect as the Padres move on, having defeated the Dodgers, slaying the Dodgers. And if we were to put a bow on the Dodgers here, this is the winningest regular season team in Dodgers franchise history. 111 wins. They were solid, soup to nuts. There wasn't a flaw on the team. However, they ran into a hot Padres buzzsaw, and it didn't feel like they had their pitching lined up perfectly in this series. A function maybe of the 5-day layoff. They got caught.
Yeah, and we're going to have to debate here, right? Like, you have this great asset, which is the 5 days off, but is it really a liability? Rust versus rest. And the thing to think about the Dodgers is their flaw for me was, number one, they got some injuries. That was tough. But do they have the number one starter to lead the way? If you look at every team, the Phillies, the Yankees still have their guys. Everyone has a legitimate number one that can go deep into the seventh. The Phillies have two. The Padres may have three. The Dodgers, we didn't have anybody going to the 6th or 7th inning. 5 and out does not get you a world championship.
The one thing, guys, that worries me about this whole playoff thing is that I'm seeing lately that a few managers has been worried about the future when you need to worry about today. It happened with the Braves, not pitching Morton.
Yeah.
It happened to Scott Service during the Seattle series. And then if you look at the team that have been thinking about today, they are the one playing the next round.
You're right. I mean, we look at this. We had him here. Their ace was here with us. He's on Tommy John.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler would have made a difference in this series. But I look at their bullpen, and I told you guys before the series started, not having the closer on the roster makes a difference to the back of that bullpen. Even though he was having a helter-skelter up and down season, he provides stability in the back because these guys are looking up to him saying, our stuff is just as good as yours. It's a motivating thing, and not having that piece who's been with you all season long might have changed the back of that bullpen with the Dodgers. And some uncertainty, and that. When you put guys not in normal situation, normalcy is key, especially in playoffs, and it was a little helter-skelter out there in the Dodgers bullpen at the end.
And even the Yankees, going back to what I just talked about, you have a closer right there, supposed to be a closer that is supposed to shut it down, and it wasn't used. So,
the thing about it, and Matt, we've talked about this, for the last 4 or 5 days, these predetermined scripts for how a game should go may work in May, June, or July. But there's something really odd about the game going on. In these 5 to 7 game series, you know what you never get? You never get a starter to get beat down. And sometimes the starter needs to get beat down to take it for the team. They want to take them out of there so quickly, and they hand it to the bullpen, and we say this over and over again.
It looks like
Is that Darth Vader?
we're efforting another player.
his own planet.
Darth Vader, the predatory at-bat. It is Juan Soto, who joins us on our post-game coverage. Juan, hey, thank you for the time. Congratulations on moving on. We could ask you how it feels to win this thing, but we see the look on your face. Just take us inside the clubhouse and inside your mind. How are you feeling at this moment?
It feels great, to be part of this and be in the spot that we are. It's just a great feeling. Great to be here. I'm glad to be here. Thanks God they got me here, and just another moment to celebrate and keep it rolling.
Soto, ¿qué pasó, papi?
Dime, papi.
Hey, listen, the last at-bat that you took tonight, I saw the swag that I always see coming from you when your confidence levels are pretty high. What was going through your mind during that at bat?
You know, let's go, baby. you know how's the feeling, to be ready for it. I'm happy to be in that spot. I was ready for it. I was waiting for the whole series to be in a moment like that and come show up what I have. And I was happy to be on it. I was locked in, ready to face whoever is here.
Juan, felicidades, papá. Alex here.
Thank you, A-Rock.
Soto, I loved your approach the last 2 or 3 nights. By the way, you almost had 2 bombs yesterday, the biggest clutch hit of the night today. But talk to me about that atmosphere. I'm jealous that we're not there. We'll be there soon. But how good does it feel to play in front of 45,000 like that?
Oh, man. You win a World Series, you know how it feels. This is a great feeling. It's just amazing. The fans are wild, crazy. They are ready for this. I mean, they can't wait to win a championship. So you can tell how hard it was, how loud it was. I'm happy to be here, part of it. It was an amazing feeling.
Juan Frank Thomas here. I just want to say, man, you've had such a crazy season. You know, you leave the Nationals, you come to San Diego, you win the home run derby. Now you're back. What's in the future for you, young man? I'm telling you, the sky's still the limit, but you're back into the playoffs and the World Series so the world can see you. But not the World Series yet, but the NLCS so the world can see you. I mean, what's next on your mind? Are you going to show the world?
We got to win. We got to win. Go all the way. Right now it's party. Get everything ready. Party all night long. And then we got the feelings. We got to go out there and play as we've been doing it. I mean, we've been playing great baseball. Our pitching staff is the best I've ever been a part of it. I mean, those guys are great. And just keep doing the offense. I mean, we have enough to put it out there and put it on the show, Hey, do it like you do.
Time to shine. Time to shine, baby.
Papi, right here. I remember when you won the World Series the last time you with the National. I remember you wasn't 21 yet, so you wasn't allowed to drink. So now that you're 21, baby, let's go, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Dance with me, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Dance with me, baby. Come on. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. 21, when you're 21, you can drink. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. You know how it is. You know how it is. We're going to enjoy it tonight, and we're going to worry about the feelings tomorrow.
Let's go. Enjoy it. Have a good one.
Congratulations, man. He deserves it.
See you guys later.
Way to go, man. We'll let you go back to the virtual reality game you're playing inside.
I know, right?
Yeah, but he deserves it, man. He's been to one hell of a season. Shocked the world by leaving the Nationals.
Unbelievable.
Coming to
San Diego Padres are headed to the National League Championship Series. It starts on Tuesday. Our coverage on FS1. Phillies and Padres, just like you filled out in your preseason brackets back in March, right? That's right. It all starts here. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Bryce Harper and the Phillies, Manny Machado, Juan Soto and company representing the San Diego Padres. It all starts Tuesday night right here on FS1 and on Fox. Yeah, waiting for the Pods. The Philadelphia Phillies, who had an emotional afternoon of their own, will recap their thrilling day and their win over the Atlanta Braves. The Astros have punched a ticket to the ALCS for an American League record 6th consecutive year. We'll review how that happened in a wild night and talk about wild. How about 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth? The Guardians down to their final strike, and they walk off the Yankees 1 win away from moving on. So much to discuss on a night of celebration in San Diego. We're back with more post-game coverage right after a quick timeout. And Big Papi hasn't stopped dancing with Juan Soto.
Throw the champagne on the
That's my boy. I gotta make him feel that way.
I'm glad you got that energy left.
I've been here since 7 a.m. in the morning. I don't care.
Welcome back to the NLDS postgame show on FS1, sponsored by Tubi. The party is just starting on the home side at Petco Park. Fans haven't left as the San Diego Padres, for just the 3rd time in their 54-year franchise history, are headed to the NLCS. Welcome back inside with Frank Thomas, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, Matt Vasgersian. There is one Padre for whom this is extremely special. Among those enjoying San Diego native Joe Musgrove, who was brilliant again tonight. Joe, congratulations on moving on, man. This has got to mean so much for you as a guy that grew up rooting for the Padres. Tell us how you're feeling at this hour.
Oh, man, it's hard to put into words right now. You know, I think everybody in here is sharing some excitement with the fans and for this city, and myself especially, man. We got beat up on pretty good by these guys this year, and as a kid growing up, I sat in those stands and I watched us get beat up by those guys for years. So to be able to knock them off in this round, and, you know, it's probably better that we had to face them in a 5-game series than a 7, but, you know, you're seeing this team starting to find its identity and really turn it on here down the stretch.
Joe, Alex Rodriguez here. Congrats on the amazing starts. And today you bent, but you didn't break. But growing up in San Diego, idolizing Jake Peavy, wearing his number 44, he was there to watch you this weekend, your family and friends. How gratifying is it to have this big moment in front of your home fans?
Oh, man, it feels great. I think it's just really cool, man. I mean, you know, you get to kind of meet one of your heroes growing up and, you know, learn a little bit from him, share some, you know, some stories and some experience, and, you know, try to grab whatever you can from him. But, you know, to get the support, I got to talk to him in the clubhouse for a little bit yesterday, and to get the support that I got from him, and you know, have him out here tonight throwing out the first pitch, rocking my jersey was extremely special, man. So I mean, I can't say enough about him.
Joe, congratulations, Big Papi right here, man. And by the way, Jay Peavy was my teammate with the Red Sox. A real stud right there, man.
He's a dog.
I'm very proud and happy that he's one of your idols. Hey, man,
yeah,
let me tell you, what was the mentality going into this game tonight, facing one of the most incredible offense that the baseball game have nowadays, which is the Dodgers?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them a lot this year, and, you know, I've had a handful of good starts, handful of rough starts, but every time I face these guys, it's dealing with traffic on bases, being able to stay calm in those moments, and really make pitches when they count. And, you know, coming into tonight, I'm not sitting here trying to go 7 with 1 hit again. I don't expect that against a team like this. It's all about managing the game, and I give up those 2 runs in the 3rd inning. I'm able to get out of that without any more damage, and the only focus from that point on is whatever I got to do to keep this crowd in the game is going to be my main goal. You know, we saw it in New York, you know, how fast you can pull the life out of a crowd by putting up, you know, 4, 5, 6 runs. So for me, once I gave up the 2, it was all about whatever you got to do to manage, you know, 2 runs and keep it at that, keep this crowd in the game and give ourselves a chance to creep back into it.
Joe, Frank Thomas here. Quick question. You know, you guys all year long have put together one hell of a team. You know, what is the confidence level right now in that clubhouse? Because you guys are clicking on all cylinders. You just took out 2 back-to-back National League teams that everybody thought would be in an NLCS this year. How do you feel in the clubhouse, and what's next for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we've taken down 2 Goliaths and, you know, 200-win teams, and, you know, I think everybody here was kind of hoping we get a shot at the Braves to knock out, you know, the defending champs. But, you know, Philly's a good team, man. They're in a kind of similar boat that we are, and, you know, wild card team that's getting hot at the right time. They got a lot of confidence over there, but the confidence in this clubhouse is on another level right now, and it's coming from everybody. It's not just coming from the superstars or the big guy, you know, the big producers. It's everybody. Everyone feels like they're playing their best ball right now, and we're all kind of feeding off each other, really trying to get to that, you know, that pass the baton mentality. And, you know, it's funny that, you know, we have as rough of a stretch, you know, down that last month and a half, and then the last 2 weeks we clean it up, and I feel like just now we're starting to find out what this team's all about and the type of dogs we got in here.
Well, you guys have earned it, Joe. Could I just see that? I love beer. Can I see that beer can of yours? Because I heard you got your own brew, man. Hey!
Look at that. That's a no-no,
Hey, send
Joe.
me a six-pack, yo.
Congratulations,
Send me a
man.
six-pack.
And Big Papi, as much respect as everyone has in here for you and what you've done for the game of baseball, you got a lot of people coming for your neck right now for what you're saying. Just letting you know. I'm just letting you know.
Don't poke the bear.
Yeah, I'll tell you where the money's at, baby. It's in San Diego.
Send me a six-pack, man. Forget me.
Way to go, man. The family business is beverages. Joe has a microbrewery. Awesome. Mom and Dad have a coffee shop in Alpine. Free coffee tomorrow at Cafe Adesso, yes or no?
I didn't hear what you said. You said something about them having a coffee shop.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you said?
Is it free brew yet tomorrow? Free coffee at Cafe Adesso, yes or no?
Hey, I might have to cover the tab for San Diegans to go get some coffee up there. I mean, I can't tell you how much, and I don't mean to go off on my own rant here, but, you know, my family is you know, has had this coffee shop for 20-plus years, and it's a very, very small drive-through up in Alpine, a mountain town up where Mark Grant lives, and you know, they have a very loyal fan base, I guess you'd say, for people that come by there and are regulars every day. And people from all over the county of San Diego have been going there since I came here, and they've really helped out my family by providing us some business and helping us, you know, bring some money in. So I'm very grateful for the San Diego community coming out and supporting.
That's awesome.
Man, you're going to be so drunk tomorrow that you're gonna need all the coffee on your own.
You know, baby. Hey, come see us out in San Diego. I'll brew one up in my locker for you.
Enjoy, man, enjoy.
Hey,
right, boys.
we
You guys.
enjoyed
Appreciate
talking
it.
to you, Joe. Thanks again, man. Congratulations. Enjoy the moment. You sure deserve it. Joe Musgrove joining us. It's happy times in the San Diego clubhouse. Things are a little bit more solemn on the visiting side, where they're packing up and heading home for the winter. And just a moment ago, Dave Roberts sat at the podium to answer reporters' questions.
Factor very high, disappointment very high. It's crushing. You know, each guy gave everything they had all year long, and a tremendous season. And you know, the great thing about baseball is the unpredictability, and the tough thing about it is the same thing. Things could have gone either way today to impact the result of the game. It didn't, and you know, we got beat in a series. So nothing I can say is going to make it feel any better, and obviously we didn't expect to be in this position.
Well, certainly not when you amass the kind of war chest of wins the 2022 Dodgers did, winning its team in franchise history and one of the winningest teams in the long history of the sport, and they're out after the division series. This on Twitter, Clayton Kershaw saying he plans to play next season. Yeah, there'll be some off-season questions asked of the Dodgers, and as we continue to put a bow on their campaign, not unlike the Padres, the Dodgers were also built to win. Enormous payroll commitments. They make the commitment to bring in a player like Freddie Freeman from the defending World Series champs. There wasn't a flaw here. How do you diagnose what went wrong for them the last 3 nights?
You have to tip your cap to the entire Dodger Nation. I mean, from ownership to the general manager, Dave Roberts does an incredible job. Let me tell you something, Matt. And this is true. It is hard to win, fellas. Sometimes we don't need to dissect or over-dissect. They ran into a better team that was hotter at this time. The Dodgers were better for 6 months, but in these 5 games, or in these 4 games, the Padres were better. Hats off to Dave Roberts. Incredible job. Consistently, you're in and you're out. Sometimes it's much harder to manage the big resources than small resources. Dave Roberts has done a phenomenal job, in my opinion.
Dodger fans will never go away from what they stand for, and let me tell you why. This organization, Los Angeles Dodgers, Magic, and everybody in there, made sure that the fans every year come in to have fun. And how they make sure that happened? Putting a good team together. It's hard to win, like you say, Everett.
Very hard.
Repeating every year, putting themselves in the situation that they have been the past 10 years, that is hard to do. These people have been in the playoff consistently. I guess it's 9 out of 10 the past 10 years. Some crazy like that.
Yes.
I mean, they put a team together to put themselves in this situation. It didn't work out this year, but I guarantee you this year they're going to come with a force that made the fans happy and support them.
Well, to piggyback on that, Dodgers is one organization that does it right year in and year out. Doesn't matter about the money. They go get the players they need. But this year, looking at what happened in the playoffs, they got to focus on that starting staff, getting them healthy, and getting these guys stretched out. I want to see the Dodgers start getting their pitchers to the 6th inning because they have the bullpen, they have the arms to shut down ball games. But it seems like every year now we get to the playoffs, we're talking about the Dodgers starters getting out of the game in the 5th inning. That's not going to work. It hasn't worked much. It worked in 2020, a little shorter season, but it hasn't worked for the full 163 in the playoffs. So that's something they need to focus on because this team is unbelievable. They'll be back next year, not worried about the Dodgers. They're too talented. They had it tonight, but I'm telling you right now, the San Diego Padres knew they had to win that ball game and not come back to Chavez Ravine, and they got it done at home.
And I'm going to make a call right now. I think Bellinger will compete for the MVP again next year. Get that big boy straight. He's a big part of that team. He's got a great future.
On what team?
He's a free agent.
He's out there.
That's
Trey Turner's out there potentially.
I didn't say what team. I said he was going to be an MVP type.
Regardless, they'll have a winning team. Yes, they will.
Man, what a wild day around Major League Baseball today. You got 2 underdogs that punched tickets to the League Championship Series and a record-setting afternoon that turned into evening in Seattle. The Astros are going back to the LCS. We'll have highlights of their 1-0 victory in the Pacific Northwest. And there's no stopping Manny Machado tonight.
Mr. 305! Show them how to do it!
No goggles there.
Naked!
Just shades.
Well, 3 out of the 4 postseason chairs have been occupied in championship series. We know that the Padres clearly are moving on based on the partying that's still happening down at Petco Park. They'll meet the Philadelphia Phillies in a National League Championship Series that has so many great storylines. Begins Tuesday night here on FS1 and on Fox. Welcome back inside. Frank Thomas, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, Matt Vasgersian in for Kevin Burkhardt. The American League has 1 chair open. 1 chair has been filled. Let's take you to the Pacific Northwest for highlights in a really long day turned to night in Seattle. Seattle hosting its first playoff game in 21 years. This is the 9th inning. It's scoreless. 2nd and 3rd, 1 away for Houston. Matt Bratt strikes out Christian Vasquez. Jose Altuve would go down swinging, still scoreless to extra innings. 16th inning, Yuli Gurriel connects with Penn Murphy's pitch, but Julio Rodriguez flies in to save the day.
World class, what a future, long contract.
Long contract.
To the 18th, and a long fly ball that gets out of the ballpark. Jeremy Pena, the rookie shortstop, provides the first run of the game. 1-0 Astros.
From the University of Maine, the Black Bears.
Another young player who's had one heck of a year after losing Carlos Correa.
Bottom of the 18th, Mariners down to their last out. Luis Garcia with a really long, amazing relief outing. Gets Julio Rodriguez. Astros win it. They sweep the Mariners to advance to their 6th consecutive ALCS, a new American League record. 17 innings without a run in this game was a new postseason record. 1 was all it took. Dusty Baker after the game on the heroics of his rookie shortstop.
We didn't know who the hero was going to be tonight, but we were hoping that we'd have somebody, and we had somebody in Pena. And, this whole series, it's been different guys. But our pitching staff and our bullpen did a heck of a job during this whole series.
Yeah, and the 6 consecutive seasons where the Astros go to a League Championship Series, a new American League record. Only those legendary Braves teams have gone to more. The Major League record there, 8 straight years. What about the Yankees and Guardians? A pivotal swing game 3, 3rd inning, Yankees down 2-0. Aaron Judge finally enters the party.
And that's the guy we were talking about earlier this year, squaring the ball up to center field. There's light tower power for him from line to line. Do not try to sit there and yank and pull home runs when you're that powerful.
Had been 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts. Still in the 5th inning, and Oswaldo Cabrera takes Tristan McKenzie deep. 2-run shot. Yankees have a 4-2 lead. 7th inning now. Yankees up 4-3, and Harrison Bader repads the advantage. Yankees on top 5-3, and seemingly moments away from closing it out, taking a big advantage for Garrett Cole to go to work tomorrow. Not so fast, as they say. Clark Schmidt on to close it. Guardians runners at the corners. Ahmed Rosario lines a pitch into the hole. Miles Straw scores. It's a 1-run game. 3 batters later, bases loaded for Oscar Gonzalez. Guardians radio with Tom Hamilton and Jim Rosenhaus.
A swing and a liner back up the middle, base hit into center. Here comes Kwan. Here comes Rosario. The Guardians win. He's done it again.
Wow. The rookie Oscar Gonzalez, reach out and touch me. 3rd walk-off winner of the postseason. For the 32nd time this year, Cleveland wins a game in their final at-bat. And the youngest team to ever win a division title has plenty of fight left. They win it 6-5 to take a 2-1 advantage. They could close out the mighty Yankees tomorrow. Aaron Boone after a disappointing loss.
Love that Garrett's on the mound. Let's go get it. Tonight was, obviously is gut-wrenching and ending, and but we got to get over it. I mean, now we're obviously up against it, and but I still love our chances. We got Garrett going tomorrow. We got to go take care of business and try and get back to New York.
Let's get inside that final plate appearance. I mean, this Guardians team has plenty of magic. Oscar Gonzalez in particular, walk us through that game-winning plate appearance.
Yeah, one thing about analytics, it has a little bit of a blind spot, right? And they'll tell you just keep throwing the pitch that they can't hit, a slider. However, you can't do 4 or 5 in a row. Schmidt to Gonzalez, we're going to show you right here. He throws 4 sliders in a row. Here's the first one. Boom. Okay, he sees it. Now, he can't hit a slider, but he's seen 2. Now he's seen 3. And now the 4th one, pretty good pitch, but a terrible sequence. And at some point, fellas, even a bad slider hitter will become good or great. And they drive nice cars, too. They're in the big leagues, too. You can't just have a research department tell you, hey, just keep throwing sliders. At some point, I'd like to see a fastball up, move their eyes, speed them up, and then come back to the hammer.
I absolutely agree with you. When we were watching that at bat, and I saw that he was going to execute with a slider for the 4th time, we started looking at each other like, wait a minute. In baseball, there's something that it goes along with pitching against batter, if you want to speed them up or if you want to slow them down. Now, if you give me 4 breaking balls, you got me slow already. So it's going to be easier for me to react, Frank, against that 4 pitch. Now, if you speed me up with a fastball and then you go back with a slider, you have better chances to get me out when it comes down to it. But when I saw all this breaking ball, I know something bad was going to happen.
Well, you look at that bullpen, it reminds you what the Dodgers are doing right now. Matching hitter for hitter, no really defined roles. Chapman left at home, Kimbrel left at home. Sometimes, I'm telling you, these young guys, they see those veteran closers who had a lot of success. They might not be pitching well, but there's a lot of respect in that bullpen for those guys, and it makes their job easier. So tomorrow, I mean, the Yankees' back's against the wall. Let's see what fight they got, but I've watched this Cleveland team all year. They are a dangerous bunch. They're a bunch of no-name guys except Ramirez, and they fight you to the end, and I don't care what the score is.
I agree with you, Frank, and I love what you're saying. When you look at Cleveland, when you look at the Phillies, when you look at the Padres, they all have a predictable lineup and a predictable outcome in the back end of the bullpen. The teams that have uncertainty, like the Yankees, are in trouble. And my concern for the Yankees, I'm sure Cole should come out and pitch well, but the emotion, that stadium, the hunger, they're the youngest team, and they have the lowest payroll. And here they are going up against the big bad Yankees. It feels a little bit like San Diego against the Dodgers.
Oh boy, they're the only game in town tomorrow, the last division series that's still going as the Yankees' playoff lives are on the line tomorrow in Cleveland. Phillies took care of business as the first game of the day. Yeah, they rang the bell. Bryce Harper is piping hot. Phillies and Padres will meet in the NLCS, which starts Tuesday on FS1 and on Fox. Manny Machado's not thinking about that at this moment. But as he shared with us, they'll regroup tomorrow.
305, baby.
Here we go. Twitter's coming after you, Poppy.
Poppy's lawyer, line 2. Dr. Poke the Bear.
Oh.
Welcome back to the NLDS postgame show on FS1, sponsored by Tubi. It has been a great day of Major League Baseball. Started early with the Phillies and Braves, the defending World Series champs, with their playoff lives on the line. And it was crushed today. 3 homers by the Fightins, including this one, an inside the Parker for JT Realmuto, the first catcher ever to do it in a postseason game.
And Matty, a catcher who runs like a center fielder. Look at him, put him up and get him down.
Oh, athletic.
Villanova Philly legend Jay Wright loving it among the throngs at the Citizens Bank today. Phillies lead 4-1 here, 8th inning. Bryce Harper had a monster series. His third of the postseason, and the finishing touches, if you will, on an 8-3 ticket puncher. And the Phillies were popping bubbly on the home side today. And as we learned later on, they would meet the San Diego Padres. Yeah, the Phils never trailed in this one. They never trailed in their Game 3 victory. 6 Phillies pitchers limited the Braves to just 4 hits, 3 runs. Bryce Harper post-game today.
Yeah, what an opportunity. You know, what an opportunity we were able to come home and take home field advantage away from one of the best teams in baseball. You know, you got to beat the champs to be the champs. You know, that's what we kind of talked about before. And, you know, coming in here with the best fans in all of baseball, I got chills, man. It's so cool being back and being with this group of guys, and just really excited for the next round, really excited for the opportunity.
The NLCS field is set. It's the Phillies and Padres from Petco Park. Game 1 coverage begins on Tuesday night on Fox and on FS1. And to Twitter, before we take a quick break, Frank Thomas, this is
not a question.
Really not a question. Asks a question.
15 hours in, boys.
We've been here since 7 a.m.
Too much nitro.
Go, Barry.
Well, 3 of the 4 LCS participants are in. Padres and Phillies in the National League. Coverage starts Tuesday night on Fox and on FS1. And waiting for an opponent in the junior circuit, the Houston Astros. Will it be the Guardians? If they win tomorrow, it's Cleveland. That one's still going on. We do know this, that when these postseason games are in San Diego, it's usually great weather. We kind of started our coverage tonight with licensed meteorologist David Ortiz. He does have a meteorology degree in the Dominican, by the way.
You know it. Let me show you something
Walk
right
us
here.
through what we're up for next week.
This is the NLCS weather forecast right here. So 78, when you see this out, that means the sun gonna be doing his job over there, right? It's gonna be more heat. On this day, I'm gonna be watching Tom and Jerry, definitely, on A-Rush airplane. Little rain in Philly, people. Bring your jacket and your umbrella. The sun is doing his job here. 55% chance of rain. That's 45% sunny. And you know, in Game 6, I don't even know where we're gonna be. I'm out of here, man. It's what, 3 in the morning?
It's not always sunny in Philadelphia.
Peace to the Heezy.
That's it. He's out.
See you.
Bye-bye.
We'll
see you Tuesday. NLCS coverage Tuesday night on Fox and FS1. These guys are gone. That's it. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
We've had it.